What happens when a Hollywood star, once adored worldwide, vanishes from the spotlight for nearly 2 decades, only to come back and win the most prestigious award in cinema? This is the extraordinary story of Brendan Fraser, a man who went from action hero to forgotten name to an Oscar-winning icon. His comeback isn't just a career revival, it's a lesson in resilience, courage, and the power of never giving up. The rise of a 90s Hollywood icon. When Brendan Fraser burst onto the Hollywood scene in the early 90s, he was unlike anyone else. His first major breakout came with Encino Man in 1992, a goofy comedy where he played a thawed-out caveman trying to navigate modern life. It wasn't Oscar material, but it showcased his knack for physical comedy and expressive acting. That same year, he starred in School Ties, a powerful drama alongside future stars like Matt Damon and Ben Affleck, proving he could also handle serious material. By the time George of the Jungle swung into theaters in 1997, Fraser had cemented himself as a leading man. His portrayal of the lovable, vine-swinging hero was not only physically demanding but showcased his comedic timing and ability to connect with audiences of all ages. Then came 1999's The Mummy, a perfect mix of action, humor, and romance. The film was a global hit, spawning sequels and making Fraser a box office powerhouse. He wasn't just a star, he was a brand, one that guaranteed ticket sales and worldwide recognition. The physical toll of stardom. Behind the scenes, however, Fraser's commitment to his roles was slowly destroying his body. He performed many of his own stunts, from elaborate fight scenes to dangerous physical gags, often pushing himself past safe limits. On the Mummy sets, he was thrown against walls, yanked on wires, and even accidentally choked during one stunt. On George of the Jungle, his extreme physical regimen to maintain his superhero physique left him exhausted and sore for months. Over the years, these stunts caused cumulative damage. Fraser underwent multiple surgeries, partial knee replacements, spinal procedures, and even vocal cord repair after years of strain. He later revealed that for nearly 7 years, he was in and out of hospitals, essentially being put together with tape and ice. The physical pain became constant, and it started affecting his ability to work on big action films. Hollywood, an industry quick to replace even its brightest stars, began moving on without him. Personal struggles and divorce. While his career was slowing down, Fraser was also facing difficulties in his personal life. His marriage to actress Afton Smith, which began in 1998, ended in divorce in 2009. The split was not only emotionally painful, but also financially challenging, as Fraser faced child support obligations that were difficult to meet with his declining income. Fraser is the father of 3 sons, one of whom, Griffin, is on the autism spectrum. He has spoken openly about how much his children mean to him, describing Griffin as someone who sees the world in ways that inspire him. Still raising children, managing health problems, and dealing with a shrinking career all at once took a huge emotional toll. For Fraser, his focus shifted to being a present father, even if it meant stepping further away from Hollywood. The Hollywood incident that changed his life. In 2018, Brendan Fraser revealed in an interview with GQ that in 2003, he was sexually assaulted by Philip Burke, then president of the Hollywood Foreign Press Association, HFPA. The incident left Fraser feeling humiliated, depressed, and questioning his place in the industry. Although Burke denied the assault, Fraser felt that after the event, he was rarely invited to the Golden Globes or other major industry events hosted by the HFPA. Whether this was intentional or not, Fraser's visibility in Hollywood noticeably declined. He withdrew from public appearances, retreating into private life while silently carrying the trauma. This was another heavy weight added to his already painful physical and emotional struggles. A career in the shadows. Throughout much of the 2010s, Fraser didn't disappear entirely, but the roles were smaller, less glamorous, and far from the blockbuster spotlight he once commanded. He took parts in television shows like The Affair and Trust, and occasional indie films. These projects allowed him to keep working without the intense physical demands of his earlier career. However, the public still remembered the Fraser of the late 90s, the confident, smiling star on red carpets and in big-budget hits. Seeing him only in small roles made fans wonder, was Hollywood done with Brendan Fraser, or was Brendan Fraser done with Hollywood? The internet's love for Brendan Fraser. Then something unexpected happened. In the mid-2010s, a wave of nostalgia for 1990s and early 2000s pop culture swept through the internet. Clips of Fraser's old movies and interviews began circulating on social media. Fans praised his kindness, humility, and the joy his films had brought them growing up. One pivotal moment came in 2016 when Fraser appeared in a fan queue and a video looking uncharacteristically downcast. The clip went viral, sparking the hashtag Support Brendan Fraser movement. Thousands of fans posted messages of love and encouragement, reminding the world, and Fraser himself, that he was still cherished. This online wave of affection was the first sign that the public was ready for his return. The first steps toward a comeback. Encouraged by fan support and with his health improving, Fraser began stepping back into more high-profile projects. In 2021, Steven Soderbergh cast him in No Sudden Move, a stylish crime thriller where Fraser delivered a performance that reminded critics of his dramatic abilities. Soon after, Martin Scorsese brought him on board for Killers of the Flower Moon, alongside Leonardo DiCaprio and Robert De Niro, a major vote of confidence from one of cinema's greatest directors. These roles weren't just jobs, they were signals to Hollywood that Fraser was still a force to be reckoned with. And then came the role that would change everything, a part that would demand the emotional depth only years of hardship could create. The Whale, a career-defining role. In Darren Aronofsky's 2022 drama The Whale, Fraser played Charlie, a reclusive English teacher living with severe obesity, trying to repair his relationship with his estranged daughter. The role required him to wear heavy prosthetics, endure long hours in makeup, and channel years of emotional pain into a single devastating performance. Critics called it a revelation, the kind of role actors dream of but rarely get. Fraser's portrayal was raw, compassionate, and unflinchingly honest. Audiences wept, critics raved, and suddenly Brendan Fraser wasn't a nostalgic memory. He was the frontrunner for the biggest award in Hollywood, Oscar night, and a standing ovation. On March 12, 2023, the world watched as Brendan Fraser's name was called for Best Actor at the Academy Awards. The audience erupted into applause, many giving him a standing ovation. Fraser's acceptance speech was emotional and heartfelt. He thanked Darren Aronofsky for throwing him a creative lifeline, praised his castmates, and tearfully acknowledged his family. He compared his journey to a deep-sea dive, saying, "I started in this business 30 years ago, and things didn't come easy to me. There was a facility that I didn't appreciate at the time until it stopped." His win wasn't just an industry acknowledgement. It was the final glorious proof that Brendan Fraser was back where he belonged. Brendan Fraser's journey from Hollywood's top leading man to years in the shadows, and then to Oscar glory, is one of the most inspiring comebacks in film history. His story is a reminder that no matter how far you fall, it's possible to rise again, stronger, wiser, and with a deeper appreciation for life. For fans who never stop supporting him, his win feels personal. Brendan Fraser isn't just back, he's a living testament to the power of hope, perseverance, and believing in yourself when the world stops believing.